David asked the question, I've heard that once I turn 55 I can start to draw on my super. My wife and I are paying off our home loan. Do you think that this is a good idea? Generally, yes. Generally, we like to pay off our mortgage as a priority because it's not deductible debt. It's great as you approach retirement to have paid down all your debt, and it reduces the outgoings and the associated stress with the pressure of debt. So generally, yes. And once you've reached your preservation age, which is currently 55 for people, it's moving up to 60 depending on your date of birth, but it's currently 55. You can effectively roll over your superannuation to pension phase. It saves tax within the fund. So when your money's in the accumulation phase, it's taxed, the earnings on the fund are taxed at 15%, and when it's in the pension phase, there's no tax payable on the earnings within the fund. So you get the benefit of that, and then you can draw up to 10% of the balance of the fund if you haven't satisfied a condition of release, and that means you haven't stopped working. You can still draw up to 10% of the balance of the fund. So if your fund is worth $100,000, the balance of it, then you can draw $10,000 from that fund each year, and you could potentially put that down and pay that off against your mortgage. Now you need to be a bit careful here, because whilst you're under 60 years of age, generally what we do is you draw the minimum amount from your pension, which is, if you're between 55 and 65, next year it's going to be 4% of the balance. And the reason we say draw the minimum amount is because you can pay some tax on the drawings depending on what your taxable income is. And so the way that works is if you're drawing, say, $10,000 from the fund, that $10,000 ends up adding to your taxable income, and then you get a 15% rebate. If your tax rate is 34%, then you might end up paying tax on the drawings when you're under 60 of that less your 15% rebate. So you end up paying tax around 19% on that money, depending on what the components are. So just be a bit wary of that when you're under 60 years of age. Once you hit 60, it comes to you totally tax-free, so then you can draw down your 10%, pay down your mortgage as quickly as you like. Hopefully that gives you some indication of how to structure that, David.